Good morning, y'all. It's the Chupacabra. Today we're going to be testing how well lights do on pistols for recoil reduction. So we're going to do around 17 rounds for everything. First, we're going to start out with no light. Obviously, there's a ramjet on this, but it's still going to reduce the recoil somewhat for each light and no light. So first, let's just get kind of a baseline what it looks like. So I'm going to do a couple shots, just normal shots, and then I'll do like some rapid shots. Good right there?
Yep.
I'm going to try to not muscle the gun too much and kind of just let it do its thing. I kind of forgot I was supposed to do that, but... So that's with out of light. So now we're going to be doing the TLR-7A. Let's see how well it does with recoil reduction. So I'm just, like again, I'm going to try not to muscle the gun too much. Just try to let it do its thing right there.
Yep.
Good. I'm just trying to let the gun do its thing. Obviously, the ramjet is going to do a little bit of it. So I think we got probably a good enough film for that. So let's go next one. All right, so now we're doing the TLR-7HLX. It's hard to not try to control the recoil. Yeah. All right, so TLR-1HL. Nightstick turbo. This is the TWM30T. Let's see how that does. That's been pretty good, honestly. Yeah. Now we're going to be doing the Cloud Defensive EPL. Really good. All right, TLR-1 HPX. This is probably, I would assume, the heaviest of the bunch. So let's see how that does. Good. All right, so we just shot all the pistol lights. Let's just imagine this isn't on there right now. So without a pistol light, it recoils fine. I mean, it's got a ramjet on it. It's a full-size grip. It's a 45. It returns to zero very well. Personally, though, I don't recommend not running a pistol light. There's not really a reason to. You should have a pistol light if it can take one, in my opinion. The only con, I would say, to running a pistol light is you're adding more weight to the gun. So technically, you're going to be a little slower, you know, getting up on target and stuff like that. I know a lot of competition guys don't like running lights just because they can bring the gun out, transition a little faster or whatever. This is very light, though. This is like kind of the standard for concealed carry. This adds a little bit of weight, helps a little bit with the muzzle flip. Not a whole lot. But this is like the bare minimum. Like if you're gonna run any light, or even if you don't want to run a light, this is like the bare minimum, like smallest I would go. And honestly, I wouldn't even do this anymore. What I would do is this. So this adds a little bit of length. It's about flush with a Glock 17, Glock 47, 45 with a ramjet. It's about flush. So this is gonna look the best, obviously. If you're running like a Glock 19, that other one's gonna be flush. Personally, I don't mind a little bit extra length and you get double the output. This does fairly well, especially for a 9mm. 40, it's not as good, but does fairly well, and it's gonna help with that muzzle flip, obviously, because you're having weight right there. Now, as far as normal full-size weapon lights, stuff like the TLR-1HL, the nightstick, I wouldn't say the Cloud's too comparable. these are going to do probably about, you know, I wouldn't say the best, but this is really going to help. Okay, the weight on these are really going to help, especially having 2 batteries in there. It adds a significant amount of weight and really does like help your gun return to 0, obviously. So it's just going to help you out as a shooter. All right, it's like it's going to make you have to do less work, which is always better. Less work is always better. Like, you're not going to get fatigued as much. It's just going to greatly help you. So this is like what I would say standard. They're a little fat for concealed carry, obviously. You know, length I don't think matters too much all the time, depending on your body size. I'm about a regular size guy, so it doesn't bother me too much. I really like running full-size weapon lights just because of the output, but also it really does help with the recoil of the gun. Now, I would say there's another category, which is like ultra full-size, completely full-size, whatever you want to call it. I know those are considered full-size, but you know, this is a little bigger than the HL. You can see the bezel's a little bit longer. Obviously, there might be more weight. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to call this like an ultra full size, completely full size, whatever you want to call it. The Cloud works very well. Not only with just like, you know, the weight, the length, everything, you know what I mean? You can definitely feel it on the gun. If you really want to feel this like properly, take your slide off and go like this. You'll really feel it just on the frame. This does pretty well. The HPX, it's kind of a love-hate because this almost overdrives it. So a lot of us, just our brains tend to want to drive the gun down. This makes that even worse because it's already driving it down for you. So what I've had to learn with this is just to hold the gun there and not try to overdrive it. Just literally just hold the gun there and just let it do its thing, which is nice once you get used to it. It aids in a very smooth recoil pattern. Same with this. One thing I will say with this that's different than pretty much any other weapon light. Also, Surefire X300 in here is considered, you know, these ultra giant size, full size lights. One thing I will note about the Cloud, I'm not going to recommend this yet. We have a review coming. We need to put, you know, probably 2,000 to 5,000 rounds on it, I would say, before I can really say I recommend something. We shot a little bit of low light with it, haven't had any issues yet. One thing I will say, these switches on these, love them or hate them. I haven't ever really shot with an X300, so I can't give my opinions to that. But I have played with, you know, the Hollow Suns, the M-Forces, the Streamlights. I have done a little bit of the O-Lights. This is very different because it's in. So normally on weapon lights, you're used to pushing down, which does help with recoil reduction. However, I feel like you're more likely to drop the shot slow. Whereas this, you're pushing like in. So it's you're kind of getting a down motion, but it's more so just straightforward in, which may not sound like it's going to help, but what happens is when you push this in, I don't know if you guys can see that, but when I push in, it makes my grip like fulcrum into my hand. So it actually aids in a better shooting grip. Now, this video is mainly about recoil reduction just with the light, not talking about your grip or anything, which is why I try to loosely grip these, which is why my shit looked all crazy. But when you're using the light, obviously you're going to be pushing into it. If you're a momentary guy, constant on doesn't really matter. That's where this main part of the test comes in. But your switches definitely matter if you're a momentary guy. So in my opinion, excluding X300 because I don't have experience, this seems like the most usable one for momentary, in my opinion. Now, do I mind pushing down the other ones? No. I'm more likely to pull my shots low, though, with those. Whereas this, it's just like, I don't know, it just works a lot better. And we have a separate video that we're releasing on this that I explain this more in depth. But I would say the full size ones, you kind of have to worry about a little bit just because they can tend to overdrive the gun, at least with me. But the ones like the TLR1, the nightstick, size like that, some of the O-Lights, those are a very good balance, okay? And then the other ones, you know, it just helps out a little bit, but it's enough, you know what I mean? So not only are you getting the benefit of a weapon light on your gun to see stuff, which don't be gun amish, you should have a dot and light on your gun, but it will help in your recoil a little bit, okay? So anything that helps with the muzzle flip that just makes your life easier is always a good thing to have, you know what I mean? So it's always about maximizing your capability, in my opinion, when you build out a gun. So there's no reason not to have it. If you have a slot for it, put a light on it. Obviously find one that meets your needs the most, whether you have, you know, you want to carry it, you want something with a very small footprint. The TLR 7A works well. It's not a lot of output, but it works well enough. I would recommend the HLX. That's probably the smallest I would go now, unless I had like a requirement where I needed to be like really concealed. Day to day though, I'm carrying the HLX. This might take over, it might not. I really do like my HLX, but this is soon like becoming one of my favorites. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show that for you guys, because I know it's not talked about very heavy, but you know, just something to consider. And we'll play all them back to back, and we'll see which one actually helps the recoil the most, because sometimes it's a little bit too much, like with the HLX, or the HPX, sorry. So you're just gonna have to figure out which one you think is best and suits your needs, but that was the purpose of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.